There's this fantasy that guys have in their 20s where the women that didn't want them, that later on in midlife and older, they'll be crying and begging us to take them back. They won't. Look, I used to have this fantasy as well. It's a nice thought to have. It's kind of like, oh, when I win the lottery, this is what I'll do. And I think in that same way, a lot of guys think, yeah, when she's older and she hits the wall, she'll remember me and then she'll be ringing me and she'll be crying and she'll be saying, you're a great guy, please take me back. It's not going to happen. We all know that women move on faster than guys. And I think this is one of those notions where we project the way we would be and the way we would act. Because I can tell you there were a lot of times where it took me at least a year or so before I was ready to start seeing other people. It took me a long time to get over a broken heart, but for women, no. My second serious relationship after we broke up, I bumped into her, I'd say weeks later, and she was holding the hand of another guy and she was smiling and saying,
Ah, Jeff, this is Human, the guy I was telling you about.
and they were happy and I was there feeling awkward and like shattered and saying, wow, you're not just out there socializing. You're in another committed relationship in love, holding the hand of someone and talking about life and your future. So I think this fantasy that guys have, and like I said, I was susceptible to this, that it made me feel better as well, that, you know, she'll be sorry one day. And even if they are sorry, you know the way women think? It'll cross their mind for a moment and they'll go, yeah, he was a nice guy, but move on. She'll get into another relationship. She'll go out with her girlfriends and party and socialize and flirt with other guys and friends, boyfriends, blah, blah, blah. She won't have that kind of stoic nobility where guys say, no, I really loved her. It was meaningful. I don't want to go out. What's the point of socializing? I don't feel like it. It takes a long time for me to let go of this loyalty I had to her. Women don't have that. Most women don't feel guilt. And a way to avoid any kind of shame or bad feelings, if they do have those little moments where they feel a tinge of regret and their mind goes there, they will distract themselves with shopping, going out, girlfriends, partying, dating, an interim relationship, something casual. And women have a lot of opportunity to do that. Even biologically, when you look at it, women's biology makes them move on, because they have a shorter window to have kids until midlife. And so everything in her biology is designed for her to move on quickly so she can have more kids. If it didn't work out with you, she needs to. Her biology needs to move on. And it sucks because we see most of them as not nice people. And it's not nice from a civil point of view. When you said you love someone, the fact that you can get on with your life so quickly doesn't say much about our ability to trust you and believe anything women say. I get that point. But this fantasy that they'll be crying into their tub of ice cream like Bridget Jones and begging us to come back, and we'll be there when we're older, like smug and, you know, over them and saying, nah, sister, you had your chance. You only get one shot at the title. I've got this young woman on my arm. Don't you feel bad? And we'll have our revenge somehow. It doesn't happen. I mean, I think once or twice in my life, I had an ex contact me, but they contact you in a way that they still absolve themselves of any kind of responsibility. They'll just kind of offhandedly say, hey, how you going? Just thought I'd say hi. Hope you're doing well. They'll throw a line out there. If nothing comes back, they move on. And so when they're older, they might have tinges of regret, but those moments are fleeting. They're very, very small. And they just plug back into their life. They've got a lot of distractions and shopping and friends. And when they get older, they're fine with their pets and going on holidays on their own or with another single older girlfriend and things like that. They don't care. I think a lot of us guys, and like I said, me included, we like to think of this fantasy. One day they'll be thinking of us and they'll have tears in their eyes and they'll be calling us or they'll bump into us and they'll break down and they'll admit all this stuff and they'll feel what we felt those 6 months, a year, 2 years. Like sometimes guys never got over it and they were really destroyed that she was able to just move on. It was never really love. It was this big betrayal. And they just don't feel that way. And we'd like to think that we get some sort of vindication, some sort of closure. The closure never comes. And like I said, if you do get like a little bit, it'll be where she doesn't have to feel any shame or where she doesn't feel humiliated, where she just sends a small text saying, hey, hope all is well. Or she sees it's your birthday on Facebook. Happy birthday. That's it. She'll throw the line out, but you need to make all the effort if you want the relationship back. And you don't know if she does. So she's not going to make any effort. Just like when you got together, she never made any effort. You're the one that approached, asked her out. You tried to make the relationship happen. And a woman's always moving away from being hurt emotionally. And so with an ex, she's never going to want to be humiliated. So it's never going to happen. I mean, heck, even porn stars get married when they're older. So these older women, after they hit the wall, they're going to be fine. We know they're going to be fine. We're just frustrated. And again, I'm speaking for myself before. It's a nice fantasy. And a lot of them, look, they're not going to get the guys that they wanted in their 20s. I get that. They might get them for a night. But we're not going to have that fantasy of retribution where it's like, I'm vindicated now. See, all that pain I went through with my exes or the girls that never wanted me, now they want me. They don't. They'll never be heartbroken the way you were heartbroken over them, and especially for the length of heartbreak that you had over them. So they're not going to beg you to come back. One thing that I wish I was a bit more like that women are is their ability to move on. And I think a lot of the bravado that a lot of guys in the comment section say, F women, who cares? Move on. They're nothing but this. I think men are trying to adopt the same attitude because they see women doing it. And realistically, there's no point us wallowing in our own misery. We need to adopt more of the way women are in that sense, where when it's over, move on. Live your life alone or find someone better. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Join the channel and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye, guys. Okay.